at the racing lofts of Sean Hunt. We've seen the stock pigeons. We're doing this one just about the young pigeons. We've seen where the young pigeons were bred. Now maybe Sean, you can tell us something about your system with the young ones from the time you weaned them off.
Yeah, more than happy to, Gerry. Yeah, well, we go through the loft there. I'll show you exactly. I have some older young ones there at the minute now. I'm just after getting them under control. I am now. They're not up flying well yet now. They're just tipping around, you know. And then I have my second round weaned in as well now. They're only 4 or 5 weeks old, so you'll see them when we go into the loft there, and I'll show you what I do with them, you know.
And when you take them from the breeding loft and you bring them down here, do you vaccinate them straight away, or?
Yeah, well, I just like to make sure they're settled, they're grubbing well and they're drinking well, and then after a couple of days, you know, 2-3 days, I will vaccinate them, you know. And
will you vaccinate them again after that? Do you vaccinate your young ones twice, or do you just do the once?
No, we don't. No, we just vaccinate the ones with the PMV, and that's it. It works well for us, so I don't see any need to vaccinate again, Gerry. You know?
Yeah. What about the feeding system from the time they move into the young bird loft? Do you use a whistle or anything like that with them?
Yeah, well, strong believer in the whistle with the young birds, you know. So we use the whistle from day one. So for me, it's essential to use the whistle with the young birds, you know. And in the early stages, it's just an introduction, so they get used to the whistle, you know. So that's it really. We feed them. We feed them around the corn store breeding wean, which is from Ronnie van Tilburg in Belgium, and spotless clean it is, you know. And we feed them as much as they want, you know. It's a high protein mix which builds plenty of muscle and a strong body for the season ahead, which they will need, as they'll be training twice a day and they'll be racing for up to 12 weeks, Gerry, you know.
Yeah. Do you get them out straight away onto the board how long would they be in the loft before you start letting them out?
Yeah, well, look, after they settle, I let them settle for a couple of days. I jab them for their vaccination, and then within the first week, the end of the first week in the loft, I'd have them out. I would just walking around, you know. So that's it. And then I like to take my time with the youngsters, you know.
And do you feed them twice a day, once a day, or what?
No, well, in the early stages, I feed them once a day. And even in the later stages, we only feed pigeons once a day anyway, even when we're racing in our race system as well, you know. So, but when we wean them, I go in and we put the feed out on them. When I take them off the dark in the mornings at 9 o'clock, I feed them straight away, and I feed them as much as they want, you know. So, yeah, that's why I believe that the youngsters, you know, I let them eat whatever they want, you know.
So you be letting them eat and then you let them out later on. Would that not be a hindrance of getting them back in again later on?
It does be really, but in the early stages I just like to feed them what they want, and then after a couple of weeks, then when I want to get control of them, you know, I won't feed them first thing in the morning. I will leave the feed until after I let them out, you know. So, and at that stage then I wouldn't feed them in the morning, or maybe let them out around lunchtime. And when I'm calling them back in, I will give them that food, but they will still be getting as much as they want, you know.
But at that stage then they're responding to the whistle and things like that.
Yeah, exactly, Gerry, exactly. Yeah. You might see that later on now when I let the young boys
out. What
about
vitamins, supplements in the water from the time you wean them off? What do you...
Yeah, well, straight away in the early stages I don't like to give them anything, you know. I just put them on the breeding wean, and it's fresh water in the drinker, you know. And then after they go through the body mould, then I will start giving them their supplements and vitamins and that, you know.
And then when you let them out, how long would you expect them to fly, each fly?
It depends what stages you're at now, Gerry, you know. I've been taking my time with the young birds this year, you know. I haven't been pushing them, and so I weaned my first team of youngsters in the first week in February now, so they were 4 weeks then, so they're around 12 weeks now, 12-13 weeks, whatever it may be. And then some fellas might think that's old enough for youngsters to go training, you know, but I've taken my time with them, and they're not up flying well or anything. They're up doing a few laps, tipping around for a few minutes, and that's it, you know. But if you wanted it, you could have them up flying strong at that age. But I'm just taking my time with them. I'm happy to hold on to them, and that's all I want, you know. But as they go on then and they start flying and everything is going well, you know, the youngsters will do an hour they will do an hour around the loft, Gerry, you know.
And then you take them back in straight away the minute they land.
Yeah, that's it. I don't like to leave pigeons on top of the loft, you know. So that's what I think is a big help when racing as well, you know. If you can get your youngsters out of the sky into the loft, you know, it's it's definitely a big help for when you're racing, you know.
Yeah, well, the reason we're here is you're the South Row Fed champion for the last 4 seasons with the young pigeons, and you've really dominated the Fed. I don't know, many times in them 4 seasons you've actually topped the federation, but you've done it a lot of times. You've had the champion young ones in the Fed for the last 2 seasons, I think, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right, Gerry. Yeah, we've topped the Fed on 10 occasions in the last 4 years, and we are lucky enough to win the champion young board in the Irish South Road Fed the last 2 seasons, you know. So that's it, you know. But that's we're doing well with the team performances, but I do like the individual wins as well, you know, just to see the quality of pigeons, you know.
You had the champion young one this year. Had you any other young ones anywhere near the top?
Yeah, we did, Gerry. Yeah, we had we actually took the first 3. We had the 3 best young boards in the Irish South Road Fed, you know. So we were delighted with that, you know. Really surprised, as it's very hard to do, Gerry.
Unbelievable,
you know?
When you think, I'm sure it must be at least 50,000 rings would go out in the South Road Fed, and for one loft to have the best 3 out of all them thousands of rings, you must be very, very proud, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely delighted, Gerry, you know. So but that's what we strive for, you know. We strive to be the best, and we have the pigeons to be the best, so, you know.
And that's the reason we're here today, to see can we learn anything from you, you know. And I'm not just talking about novices. There's people there that's racing for years and they'd only dream about your performances, so there should be something for everybody to pick up along the way. That's the reason we're here, you know.
Yeah, well, that's it. Look, you know, people come into me and they say, what you feeding, or how you're training, or what you're doing, and I tell everybody the same thing, you know. It doesn't matter to me, so I'm happy to go through today and show you the start of our system, and that's it, Gerry. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we're inside the racing youngboard loft of Sean's here now, and we noticed there's a few younger ones here away from the older ones. Can you tell us a little bit about them, Sean?
Yeah, that's it, Gerry. Yeah, these are weaned in here now about 2 weeks, yeah, you know, so they're around 6 weeks old, yeah, and you can hear them still squealing there, you know, and you can see them picking away. They're eating the breeding wean, and it's left in front of them all day long. They eat as much as they want, you know, so that's it now. I'll only get these out probably once or twice a week. And now when I've finished all the work with the hens, the cocks and the first round young boards, you know, these are actually going to be our second round young boards here.
And will they be mixed with the other ones? How long will it take before they're mixed with the older ones? Or do you leave these here on their own for good?
No, well, these are, now I have 50 young boars over in the first and second section I do. I'll show you them now in a minute, and they will be preparing them for the first race, I will, you know. So these of 21 or 22 youngsters here, and I will prepare these for the second half of the season, so they have an extra 6 weeks to get ready for racing to do, you know. Yeah. So I will take my time with these, and I will push my first rounders, get them into order, and get everything right before I start worrying about these, you know. Yeah,
I noticed there's a bit of straw on that underneath the parts. What's the idea of that?
Yeah, well, it's just when you wean the youngsters, you know, I wean them at 4 weeks old, and at that stage, you know, they wouldn't really be all up on the perches, you know. So when you come in, when you wean the youngsters into the loft, you know, I like to put the straw down for them, just for them to nest on, you know, and it will take them another week or 2 before they're all up in the perches, you know.
Very good, yeah, very good. What mix is that there do you use? I know it's a corn store, all the feeding you use is the corn store, so yeah. This is the feeding everybody needs to get on, the corn store feeding, the champions, yeah.
It's what we're feeding them. I'm having great success in it, and I'll just give you a quick look there, Gerry, yeah. But it's that's the corn store there, breeding wean from Ronnie Van Tilburg, as I said, you know. And that's all the youngsters need, Gerry, you know. They don't need anything else.
Do they get any smaller seeds apart from that, or that's it?
No,
is it?
They don't get any smaller seeds, Gerry, you know. Like, this is it's a high protein mix, and there's plenty of small seeds in that, so it's not too hard on the digestive system, you know. So that's all you need. You will thrive on that mix.
It's a very, very nice mix. What's the actual name of it, did you say?
Breeding Wayne, the corn star Breeding Wayne, Gerry, you know.
Very good,
So
yeah.
as I said, we had great success in it. And it's not too heavy on the youngsters as well, with the small seeds in it. It helps with the digestion, which is always a problem with the dreaded young board sickness and that, you know. But, and that's it. They will go up exercising to an hour around the loft and that mix as well, no problem, Gerry, you know.
And when will you take them off that mix? When do you put them onto a racing mix?
Well, I don't put them onto a racing mix, Gerry, you know. They will not come off that mix, you know. I will add the necessary carbs and fats in, you know, when it come race time, you know, as when I go into my race system, but they will not come off that mix. That's an essential part of my racing system, Gerry, you know.
So you telling me this when the racing starts and all, they still get the Breeding Wayne?
That's exactly what they're going to get, and that's what me cocks and hens are getting at the moment, Gerry, you know. The only thing added into that will be the maximum energy, which I'll give you a look at that as well now, but there's no need for that, and so they will stay onto that right up until they go for their first toss, and then at that stage then I will add in some of the energy mix just as an introduction, you know.
Very good. A lot of the experts would say they'd be too long on the protein, but you can't argue with results, as I always say. Your results are something else for the last lot of years, you know.
Yeah, well that's it. Look, there's, as they say, many roads lead to Rome, you know. But this is what works for us, and anybody I put this mix on and I've helped them with this, they've all had great success, you know. You know, it might not be what you're going to read in a book, but it works, you know.
Of course, yeah. Well, the results speak for themselves, as I say, you know. But fantastic results. And how did you actually get into the pigeons, Sean? How did you actually come about getting into the pigeons?
Yeah, well, my father was always involved in pigeons, you know, but I never had much of an interest in myself, you know. He's a member of the Sarsfield Pigeon Club, and he's racing down there from the time I was a nipper, you know. We remember going down with him at a really young age, you know, when the pigeons were getting basketed on Friday race night, you know. So that was my first introduction, but I never really, as I said, I never really had an interest. And then my father set this loft up in 2012 for him and Nico to do a bit of racing up here at the shop, and I got roped in to give a hand with the loft rules, Gerry, you know. So that's it really, that's how we started. So I remember we got our first team of youngsters, and you know, I was helping Nico on that with the training, the feeding and cleaning out the loft, and that's it then. But I still never really understood pigeons, I didn't. But you know, I mean,
sometimes you don't need to know all, because a lot of people that so-called experts, a lot of them don't actually win races themselves. They know everything about pigeons, but some of them don't win, you know. And your results, so 2012, you must have won the young average in the Fed that your first year here, did you?
No, we didn't win in the first year here, Gerry. We were second best young board flyers in the Fed that year, our first year here. But sorry, as I was saying there, Gerry, what happened was the pigeons went for the first race. They went down to Torres, 76 miles from this loft, and as I was saying, I never really understood pigeons, and I still didn't get them at that stage, you know. So we were sitting here waiting on the boards, and my dad and Nico, you know, they were saying, oh, an hour and a quarter or an hour and a half, and I was sitting here waiting, and then we seen the first pigeon dropping in, you know, and I got a great rush, I did, and that was that really, you know. So I got a great buzz then, and I've been hooked on it ever since, you know.
And very, very successful ever since. Yeah, so have you someone else giving you a hand here with the pigeons? Do you do all the work? Does your brother give you a hand? Because it's Sean Hunt and Sons, isn't it?
Yeah, well that's right. No, well, you know, there's a couple of us involved, you know, so it's me and my dad in the partnership together, you know, and if you need a hand, then the younger brothers will give us a hand in the loft as well, you know.
Yeah. But everything seems to be just basic enough. There's no, you know what I mean, everything's straightforward as far as I can see, you know what I mean. There's no nothing special about anything you do. You just obviously very, very good pigeons, you know what I mean, to do the winning that you are doing, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe we have a look at the older young birds, and maybe get you to pick out something that you think will be special this year?
Well, I've actually just in the older pigeons are going through the body mould at the minute, but I'll bring it in and give you a look, no problem. But there's a youngster here, I'll give you a quick look at Gerry. What's the ring number there? 146 now. It's blue poya. Looks like a blue poya hen to me. With Harry's hen and the rocket, you know. They're one of the top lions in the loft. And cracking little youngster. And you know, I'd expect this youngster to do very well this year, I would, you know.
Would he be related to Trigger or one of them pigeons, the champion pigeon of last year?
Yeah, that's right. This is actually a full sibling to Trigger, you know. And he's only young now, but
but you can see the quality in him. Yeah. He's a nice young pigeon, all right. Yeah. So you reckon this will be the pigeon?
Well, that's my pick, like that's what caught my eye in the loft, Gerry, you know.
Yeah, he's class. Yeah. Class little pigeon, all right. Be interesting to see how he gets on, this little lad.
I'll come in here and I'll give you a look at these.
Okay.
Here, Gerry. Just let him out there.
Sean, we're in with the older young ones now. These are much more mature. These are the ones that was obviously bred December, I'd say. These young ones here, they really look the part.
Yeah, well, there is some still younger ones in them, you know, but you can see the older ones that are coming through the body mount and that, you know. But, you know, we paired up, we think, on the 12th of December. And that's it, you know. So all the boards in these two sections will be going to the first race. These are all the first round pigeons. We've 50 youngsters in here, and that's it, you know. We're just starting to get them under control at the moment. Regards trapping and that, you know. They're not flying too well. I'm taking my time with them. We don't push the youngsters. You know, they're starting to go up and range a little bit, but we just let them go at their own pace, you know.
What time do you take them off the target in the morning?
Well, we open up the lofts at 9 o'clock every morning, and we darken down the lofts at 5 o'clock, you know, so that's 8 hours a day, like, and we just work for what suits us, you know, but I know that's what they do recommend is the 8 hours a day, like, you know, and I think for us racing young birds, well, it's essential for us anyway, because we want our youngsters in condition to race from the first race to the last race in the season, you know. And as the last race goes into the end of September, you know, it's important that we have them on the dark, you know.
Yeah. Okay, we're in April now. You come in here at 9 o'clock in the morning. You take the pigeons off the dark. What do you do with your young ones then at 9 o'clock in the morning? Do you get them out for a fly, or what do you do? Or
no, well, at this stage, it's the second week in April, so we're busy preparing the old boards for racing. You know, the first race is next week. So when we come in, all we do is we take them off the dark at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we do me walk then with the cocks and the hens all day, and the hens and cocks are on their way back from training now. So once we get them back in from training, I will let these out then around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I will call them in after their hour, give them their feed, and then at 5 o'clock then I come in. If there's any feed left in the feeders, I take them out, put them on the dark, and that's it then till tomorrow, you know. So.
Yeah. And how long will these fly for when you let them out?
Well, as I was saying, I've just been letting them do what they like, you know, and we haven't, they probably should be ahead of where they are at the moment, you know, but they're taking their time, they're going up, and they're starting to range at the moment, you know, so there's a few still staying on the loft, and a few of the younger ones, so they're not ain't the sky out of yet, Gerry, you know, but they will be shortly, you know.
This is probably what we are doing when these races, yeah, they look very, very well, there's no doubt about it. That was a nice little blue pied pigeon that you picked out earlier on. It'd be really interesting to see how he gets on, you know.
Yeah, I fancy her, Gerry. She's from one of the top lines in the loft, so I've no reason all going well that she'll be there, you know.
Yeah, super. And how far before the first youngwood race will you actually start training these pigeons?
We start training 5 weeks out before the first race, you know. We know 4 weeks is plenty of time, but we allow 5 weeks as you know, you can have mishaps with weather and anything can happen, you know. So we allow 5 weeks for training for the youngsters, and we take our time early on, and we just try to build a confidence, you know.
Yeah. When you have them training, how far would you train them from? How often would you train them? Or
Well, when we get into race mode, you know, it depends what stage you're at, you know, there's different stages, you know, but when we get into race mode, we will be training twice a day, Gerry, weather permitting and all going well, you know.
At what distance?
Depends really, now, it can change because of the hawks and that type of thing, you know, like we had 2 spots that we were training from the last couple of seasons, and that changed last year. That we had a couple of bad tosses and we were losing boards out of it. So what we were doing, what we went back to last year, then we got a spot out at 30 miles in the morning, and then we were doing 12 miles after lunch every day, you know. So that's what we were doing, Gerry.
That's very good, yeah. And then at that stage when the racing's on, what would you add to your drinking water? What would you put on the pigeon feed? What do you, things like that, what do you do? Yeah, well,
you know, I have a little system that I use Monday to Sunday, and as we go now, at the moment, you know, they're not on anything. I haven't got them in the race system, so I'm just giving them various supplements. I might give them some multivitamins or apple cider or something simple like that, Gerry. I use a lot of the Fraser's products, the probiotics, the P3 and the PRP. You know, I think they're super products, and for the youngsters, you know. So that's it. Like, I'll show you in the next video when you come back. The supplements, what supplements I'm using on what days, and you can be able to see the feed and all that exactly, Gerry, you know.
There'll be a lot of people waiting for that video, okay, Sean? Yeah, definitely, yeah. So, yeah, so we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time when you have the boards on the road, and I'm sure these will all look brand new. There was a pigeon there that I know you picked out a pigeon, I picked out a pigeon, and I'd like to go into a little bit of competition with you. There's a pigeon here that I picked out, if I can just get him. Okay, Sean, this is my pick here in a little bit of competition with you, so I'll just check his ring number. His last 2 digits is 25. He's an absolute cracking pigeon. Do you know off the top of your head, you probably don't, what way this lad is bred, or?
No, I'm not sure, Gerry. I'm not sure where he's bred off the top of my head, you know, but it's a cracking looking youngster, alright. And so we put him up against mine and see who has the better eye, Gerry, you know.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll have a tenner bet with you, right? The best performances between the two of them, a tenner.
Yeah, no problems, Gerry. I wouldn't be mad about taking money on yourself. I know people have done that recently anyway, you know.
No, we'll look forward to getting your. Actually, a matter of fact, if I get your tenner, I'll frame it.
Yeah, that's it, Gerry, yeah.
He's a cracking pigeon, he is, he really is, yeah. Well, until we come back in a couple of weeks' time, I think that's it.
Yeah, no, thanks very much for coming out, Gerry.
Not a problem, yeah.